Hello, it's me from the future. After I recorded this, I realized I did not have the mic up for this section. What I'm doing, we're gonna do some happy hour sessions. Basically, go into a practice session, try to build a setup for the upcoming week in whatever series we're running. This week, we're gonna be trying to build a setup for Nashville Fairgrounds and be open for the official series. Later on, maybe we do some Class A, NASCAR, next gen stuff. Just two leagues are ending here this week and in the coming weeks, so need something to do. So this is a thought that came into my head. I thought about editing this down, but it's already gotten it's way too much to edit down. So feel free to skip throughout the video. Shows my whole process of driving the car 10 laps, and then we'll make adjustments on that and see how the changes impact. Gives limiting myself to 1 hour to do this. So any changes that we make have to do it in 1 hour, and whatever we build, we're going to run next week. So starting with Nashville Fairgrounds here. Yeah, we'll hop into the session. I can get this popped up. Is a Excel table, which will be in the description probably. If not, it's on Gavin or Nick's Discord. I've shared in the setup page. This is a setup analyzer that I have put together. I haven't really, I guess I've built it, but I'm not the one that has created these situations. So this is from a couple different tables that I have found on how to build setups specifically for oval cars. So car type here, I have a stock car, next gen, Indy car. I think stock car is really the one that I'm confident will work. The next gen, it has a little bit different chassis, just suspension setup. I don't know exactly if they have, like, track bars are not a thing, I don't think, in the next gen. And a typical stock car does have track bars. So I don't know how well the next gen is going to work, and maybe we'll play with that next week or a week after. But for now, we're just going to start with stock car, and I'm just going to start with the iRacing default Nashville Fairgrounds setup. So this table is from Team O'Neill Rally. Actually, that's where I got this kind of template from. So what they said is building from scratch, you should start with your spring rates and your ride height and work your way down the list. Obviously, there's not wing or aero, but that is something that I've kind of added in here, and maybe that's not in the right spot, but we'll forget about that for a minute. But this is what they said. If you're building from scratch, start with your spring rates, ride height, and work your way this way. If you're doing adjustments, you're going to start over here on the brake bias, tire pressures, and work your way up. So that's what we're going to do. So this just changes the priority, and we're doing adjustments. So we're going to start, basically, this is the category it's going to prioritize. So like 10 times out of 10, when I get into any car in iRacing, I'm always playing with brake bias. So that's the thing we start with, but we're going to kind of skip that, I think. We're going to rely on that later. We'll start with tire pressures and adjusting our setup to, with this stuff on the low end. And if we can't get it, we'll start working our way up. But generally what you can do, come in here. A lot of this, start in the balance. I'll be playing in the balance box a lot more than anywhere else. These parameters, they have things in them, but I'm not as confident with them yet. I guess that's why I wanted to kind of do this series, to kind of test this thing out and adapt as we go, or make adjustments as we go. And I'll share it when I find stuff that, obviously doesn't work or needs revisions. I can tweak it. So anyway, pick one category in here. So like we're gonna find out here in a couple seconds what the car's doing. But if it's tight on entry, I can come in here, say it's tight on entry, and it's gonna give me suggestions to change, to fix that tight on entry. So obviously this says add rear brake bias, which is what I almost always do. But there's also, if that isn't your only option, maybe we go and play with tire pressures, the toe, the caster, camber, and work our way down. Some of these in here, it tells you to uncheck the box to attach the left side before making the adjustments. That's just a warning that I have set to come up. But yeah, we'll jump into the car. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run 5 or 10 laps, get a 10-lap average or 5-lap average, and use that as our baseline to then build off from. So jump into iRacing and we'll start a timer. Okay, so we're into the test session, and I was not able to find a alarm display. There is a alarm clock in Windows, but I can't get it to show up in OBS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a timer on my phone, let that run for an hour. We'll also take note of you can't see my cursor on the screen, but in the top left here, real time, 6:21. So we'll start that right about now. Let me get my timer up. So we'll start at when I hits the 22, so it's easy to remember. Here, garage. Yeah, we're on the Dover test, so I want to make sure that I'm on Nashville, the Fairgrounds setup. We're gonna leave this all what it is right now. Get my timer ready. Oops. So when that hits 22, there we go. We're starting the timer, and we'll jump in, and you'll see on the screen I do have a 5-lap, 10-lap average. So I think what we'll do, just go run 10 laps, see what our time is. And I'm gonna leave brake bias at 65 in the garage and 0 in the car. And we're not going to really push, but we're just going to bring it up to temp. Now I've done 0 laps right now, so this goal is not speed, but just to get the car around the track comfortably and see what it does handling wise. So it's chipping out really early. There's always that bump in 2. Yeah, I think I want a slightly taller gear. We're not going for best laps. We're just trying to make it around the track to get a average lap time. So the car is stable. It is the fixed setup. But as the run goes on, these setups tend to get tight. And I can already start to feel turn in is okay. When you get about middle and off the corner, the car is really tight. So I think I want to try to free up exit. I also want to change this gearing. So this will give us our 5-lap average here, which is a 19.553. I think we'll go for a 10-lap just to see what that is. And we may go quicker later just because we've got more laps under our belt. This is like, I'm coming off 0 laps turn before this. Not having to use a lot of brake because the car chips out so soon. But if we adjust that, we may need to use more brake, which in turn can help us get more rotation in theory. One more lap here. See what our 10 lap is. And 1963. Our 5-lap average kind of fell off there as well, which you would expect as the tires wear. So I'm going to go jot these down so we know what our baseline is. And jump out of the car here. So in our notes, our 5-lap was a 19.553, and our 10-lap was a 19.631, I think. Okay. Go back into, oh, hopefully you could see that. If not, so we just ran 5 laps. I don't know if the screen was able to be visible. Basically, I ran 10 laps to get a baseline. Cars chipping out, going down the straightaway before we're getting to the point where we want it to chip. So I'm going to drop the gears a little bit to get a little more straightaway speed. Car is a little tight on exit, which I did not adjust any brake bias for, so we're going to adjust that. So go in here. We want a rear end ratio, go to 590. And then into our Excel table, we're going to go on the exit. We want to fix the tight condition. So other thing I want to check. We go back in here, our tires. So we're 96, 97. So we're wearing the right front a little more. This chart here, the balance changes it recommends is to increase the right rear tire pressure or decrease the left rear tire pressure to change it's going to change our wedge. Or we could tow out the rear, or we can raise the track bar mount. On which side? Raise the right side track bar. Yeah, there's a couple different track bars in here from different tables. So raise right side track bar. or increase the rear tire pressure. So right now, this is all balanced. I think let's try changing the tire pressure just to see, is that going to be enough? Here, we'll change it. We'll go, I don't want to go too much. We'll go 1 pound right rear tire pressure. We also did a gear change. So I'm just going to note this in this table. So we put a 590 gear, and we added 1 pound of rear PSI. And we'll go run a few more laps and see how that affects the car. So I think I'm going to start just by doing 5 laps. And we'll go from there. Because if we run a bunch of 10 laps, that's going to eat up time. But the baseline of 10 laps I think is good. Because if we get closer to the end, maybe I want to run 10 laps and see if that's going to be any better, or what the longer run's going to be like. But again, not going to try to go out set blazing flat past times. Just want to make sure the car feels comfortable. Right away, the gearing seems to be better. It's not chipping out so much. Maybe I do want to go 1 more on the gear. Actually, that there wasn't terrible. For the gear, coming out of the corner, car feels better. Center and corner, it's a little tight. It likes to push up in the center. But it does feel better on exit. Yeah, I would say it's tight in the center. That could be because we're got so much more speed and we're not braking as much. And we're not braking anymore, but we're not letting the car free roll up the track and engine braking on entry. That pump is going to be hard to deal with. So we've already gone 19,396 on our 5 lap. So it is better. I think we'll jump back out here. I think I ran an extra lap, but 396. Take a look at the laps here. Yeah, so they're already quite a bit better, and that may have been just because it was chipping out on the straightaway. We'll jump in back into the sheet. We'll go 5 lap was a 391 or 396, something like that. So we'll jump back into here. Just take a look at our tires. So they're 98, 98. The temps are kind of the same. There's not a lot of left front heat. Go into the chassis here. We're going to drop this to 583. Let me just write that down before I forget. So we went a 583 gear. And then let's see what it would say if we want rotation in the middle. So if it's tight middle, yeah, raise the right side track bar. So let's find the track bar. So these are bottom mounted. And I think when you change these, does it say? Yeah. So disconnect. So it says disconnect this first. And then we can change it. One thing I want to keep in mind here is this ride height. So we're at 5,993 and 664. So if I go up, we'll go up to 13. See what that does. So this came up. So I think I want to bring this back down. What was it? 564? Oh. Yeah, that's the same. Wonder if it'll change if I hit this. Yeah, so it went back up. So we'll bring this, try to bring this back to where it was. Also bring this back to where it was. This may be completely wrong, but I think this is what you're supposed to do. And if not, well, it's a learning process. We'll figure it out. I've never built setups before, so that's close enough. Now our preload is fucked. Bring this to 0, I think, is what you're supposed to do. Okay, so we went up to 13 on the track bar. On the right rear track bar. So we'll go 1300 right rear track bar. Also the ride height corners in the rear. Maybe I'll add another section here. So left rear, that was 5.994. Whoops. Right rear 064. Let me just write those down. So this is ride height. Rear ride height. Then we go back into here. I'm going to save this. Not because it's great, but Nashville. What are we going to call it? Setup 01. Call it that for now. Let's go see what it did. So we're 17 minutes in. The 20 is a little off because we were in here for a little bit. So we're looking to fix the chip down the straightaway and center or corner tightness. So it does drive different. It seems much tighter on entry. Chip is much better now. It's not chipping until we get to the lifting point. It's still got a little bit of a chip, but it's not allowing us to drive deep into the corner. I am having to put a lot of wheel into it. Which I don't like how much wheel's in it, but that may be because the offset is not something I'm used to running. It's pretty straight up and down wheel right now. We went slower. I actually wasn't paying attention to what the track temp was beforehand. And it may be going up in temp. We are at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun had been out. Yeah, that was not any quicker. So, what did we run, like a 5:49 or something? Oh, let's see here. So we ran 5 laps. That was... show this screen. There we go. So ran like a 5:49. So I didn't feel like it improved the car. It really tightened it up on entry. Which should be the opposite of what. So this is saying to lower the track bar mount on the right side for fixing a tight condition on entry. So it should have helped it, but it did not feel like it did. That may have been, we could have screwed it up with those ride height changes. I feel like I was supposed to do that though. Let's go back. Let's go all the way back. We know what changes we've made. We can get back right to where we want to be, or right to where we were. That's not... Is this the one that we ran? It has to be. This has the 590 gearing, or the 6 gearing. We went 583, and we also went a pound up on this. Okay. So this is where we were. Okay, these ride heights are different. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to try the other suggestion, what this is recommending. So the rear anti-roll bar, do we have one? No. We do not have a rear anti-roll bar. We do have a front. What does this say? It says make the front smaller. Fix them tight in the middle. Let me just note real quick so I can fix this, that the rear ARB is not on the B car. Okay. fix that later. So we want to make this smaller, which just says, yeah, larger bar gives you more understeer. So we can drop this a lot. We're not going to drop it that much. We can also go up a lot. What was it, 175? I want to feel something, so I'm going to drop it to 1.5. I'm going to save this as number 2. No, I don't want to overwrite that. I just want 2. Okay. Okay. All right, so we went back and we did not do that. So we gave up on that one. So we did a 580 gear and a 1.5 inch front ARB. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, I just noted this in the Excel table. Underline the 583 and 13 track bar just because that wasn't, I did not like that change. Go back to test. Go out, do a couple more laps. Currently not quite a half hour in. A happy hour's almost halfway, and I'm plan to cut this up so it's not so mundane, hopefully. This might be extremely boring and nobody will find it entertaining, but more process of getting this, I've never built setup, so it'll be something to look back on to see, and log what changes I'm making. Maybe somebody will point out I'm doing it all wrong. And honestly, being a short track setup probably doesn't matter so much. So this may be not the greatest choice in the world, but we're doing it anyway. Something to do. Yeah, track temps already dropped like 8 degrees since we were out doing our last 5. I don't feel like the car is that far off. It is fairly balanced, and it feels pretty damn quick. Yeah, so we're back into the 15 or the 19 279s. Maybe that's got to do with track temp, but that track bar adjustment felt so bad. It was a 279. Honestly, I don't know what else to change. That car feels completely fine. So yeah, we're running quicker with that smaller front roll bar than this was the change before doing the you can't see it. 13 to 18 was before our change with the with the track bar. 20 to 25, that was our track bar change, and 27 to 32, that's the change that we just did. We're in our fastest lap. We're also into the twos, which we haven't been yet. Yeah, I guess we just go back into settings, or not the settings. Go into the garage. Let's break it. Let's go 137, 370, or 1375. Let me back into our Excel table here. Let me just write this down. So this is helping me. Why am I writing this down? Well, this is helping me recall what changes have we made and how has it impacted the car. Because if I don't write this down, I am going to forget what changes I made and how did our changes impact our time. Yeah, right now we're completely fine. I don't feel like I'm tight on center anymore. But we're gonna make this change, see what that does to the car. And maybe we'll go run 10 laps. And because right now I'm getting to a point where I don't really know what the car needs. The car feels fine. It's also a short track, so we're not gonna get a long run unless it's a lead. And short tracks in general, I don't feel like the setup matters that much as long as it's as long as it's stable. So let's run 10, see what the tires are doing. I'm also not like trying to drive it super hard. I feel like I'm getting way better rotation in the middle of the corner, which is what we wanted. That's what we were trying to fix. Now I'm getting loose off, but that was also the bump out of the two. Now that right rear is hot, so we'll try not to. That's gonna impact our average, but that'll be all right. I think over 10 we'll still see what the time is about. If I didn't like superheat the rear. Now that I'm thinking more about this, maybe I'll just release this as a standalone video, and then we'll run the race in a different video. That way I can get this out. I'm not sitting on it. Maybe it'll entice me more to race this, because more and more I think about it, I'm like, why did I pick this one? This is a short track race on iRacing. Hopefully being B open, it's not terrible, but I'm sure it will be. Already saying we've done 10, but let's just keep going. I don't think we've ran 10, but this is saying we ran a 368 on a 10 lap average. And we'll probably learn more as we get into the races too, but when do people start to separate from us? What are we really missing? Because I can only run so many laps by myself and have no judgment of where I am on pace. I don't really know what the car needs, but if I get, we had other cars out here, we may see what happens to our car long term. We'll do a couple more laps. It is a little tight on entry still, but it turns off the corner right now, so it feels fine. Leaving a little free, which is good. We got 25 minutes still, so we can... Let's see if we can fix that. Entry. Tightness on entry. Yeah, so we started in the 280s. We had that loose moment, but then we went, we're in the threes, then the fours, then the fives, then towards the end we're in the sixes. So let's look at the tires real quick. So they're wearing evenly. They're also even on temps. So right rear is a little bit colder than the right front, but not by much. The left front is the coldest tire. Let me see what's in this table. Tires. All tires cold, turn in response. And I don't know how well this is for the tires parameters. Oops. Let me remove this. So we could maybe no, that's not. This says increase the magnitude if there's not enough grip. I think we have enough grip. It's just tight. So we're gonna go. So on entry, we're a little tight on entry. So we could add more caster. We could decrease the left front tire pressure, but it's already not great. So I don't think I want to touch that. We can also make the anti-roll bar smaller, the front. Or we could lower the right side track bar. Let's see. So we could, it said lower the left front caster. That's going to change. So more positive caster is more oversteer while steering wheel is turned in a corner. But it gave us two caster options. Less left front or less left. Less right front or less left front casters. What it's telling us. Or the camber. What is the camber now? The camber is 4.2. Outward positive lean of the tire. More wear, more heat. Maybe we want, you know what? We're gonna raise that. Let's see what that does. If we screw it up, you know what, so what? So that was a 10 lap of like, I think it was, I don't remember what it was. Or we did 10 laps. And it was like, I don't know, 19 point. I want to say it was, we'll put 561. We'll just make a number up and just write in the setup notes what her time was. And then we went to 4.4 left front caster. That was out of, it was 4.1 to 4.4. Okay. Let's give that a go. Let's save this as number 3. Line close. So we've got 20 minutes still. It's not like tires up coming out of the pits. We should have more bite through the corner on the left front. That may help the tire get some more heat in it. The goal is that it helps us on entry. Got that same wiggle on the second lap, which is fine. So that is, we're on lap 49. So we'll run to 55 and see what our 5 lap average is. Maybe that change was too much because now it is not. I think the car really loose. But I'm also trying to push it faster. Yeah, that change I think just did not like. The car does not like that. Let's go back to the garage. Let's go. Bring it down to 4.2. So we were at 4.1 before we went out last time. Bring that camber back. Maybe we can, maybe we were just too aggressive on it. we got one more to go. All right, now feeling fine with the 0.1 degree camber change. See what our time is on the stopwatch for 5-lap average. 440. So that didn't really do anything that we wanted it to do, I don't think. So I think the only other thing we can try is to go back again. We're going to change that back. We could try to go smaller on the front anti-roll bar. We'll give it a go. So I am back in the Excel table. I gotta figure out a way to make this so it pops up when I'm in it. So we did not like that change. So that we reverted. Because our 5-lap was 19.440. So yeah, we were still quickest running the 1.5-inch bar, front anti-roll bar. Let's go see. So we've gone to a 125 bar. Let's see what that does. So we'll go 5 laps. We got 14 minutes still. 13, just under 14. Let's see. We just ran our fastest lap. Not really trying that hard, but now we're getting the swaps that we've been getting after going through that bump. Yeah, so the car feels great. See what it is on the stopwatch here, a 19.323 on a 5-lap average. So it may not be the quickest, but it feels better. Let's go take a look. We also had that bobble too, which I don't think I got on that that other quick run. So from lap 27 to 32, that was our previous Fast 5. And then this one, I mean, we're right around the same ballpark. This 58 was a bobble, so that may have been like a low 3, high 2. And the track temp, I don't remember what the track temp was during this 27 to 32, but we only fell off to 360, where this is, we're in the 4s already. Let's save this. We're gonna save this as the race setup. I think this is the one that we're gonna run. So I don't know what it is. 26. Oh, what week in iRacing is it gonna be? What season is it? Season 2, week 12. Is that right? Already? I guess I haven't ran any races. Official races, I don't know what week it is. Season 2, week 12. Race setup. We're gonna save that as the race setup. I'm committing to that already. We got 10 minutes left on the clock. We're not going to use them. We're just going to run with that. I don't know how I can make this car better right now. Yeah, it is 7:12, so we did not use all the time, which is fine. This is happy hour, so we get a max of 1 hour to set up the car for the next week. And yeah, I think we'll run the B car next week, because Diet Dr. Pepper series, the league ends this week, or Gen 4's does. So we'll have one league race next week, then that one also ends. So maybe I'll end up doing a B car and an A car, and we'll just see what we can do. I don't buy setups. This is what we're doing. We're going to try to make our own, see what happens. I'm not here to win. I'm just here to have fun. But I'm not running fixed by the looks of it, just with how crappy that whole every fixed series looks ridiculous. So we're going to try run open, and to do that, I guess we're going to see if we can what we can do. We may struggle. I'm sure it's going to be a struggle. I don't think we really changed car enough to say so, but we'll see. I guess that's what the test is. Yeah, we'll be here next week to run officials and be open. Thanks for watching. We'll see how this does next week.